The Doom franchise is no stranger to reinvention. From its pixelated demon-infested beginnings in 1993 to its cinematic shoot-'em-up revival with Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, the series has consistently found new ways to keep ripping and tearing flesh. Now in its most daring leap yet, ID Software catapults the Doom guy not forward but backward into a world of swords, shields, and hellish prophecy. The result is Doom Guy: The Dark Ages, a blood-soaked medieval reimagining that feels both radically different and unmistakably Doom. Set in a time long before UAC labs and interdimensional portals, The Dark Ages tells the mythic origin of the character you play, Doom Guy. Yes, that's his official name. Rather than a lone warrior from space-age Mars, we meet him as a legendary knight, part god, part executioner, feared across both heaven and hell. The world he inhabits, Argent Denor, is drenched in apocalyptic dread. Vast backgrounds littered with corpses, broken citadels teeming with beasts, and a corrupt church harnessing demonic power. The demon behind the forge is Azrak, the prince of hell in that time. The new setting doesn't just serve as window dressing. It fundamentally reshapes how you perceive Doom. There's a weight, a gravitas, to the world that grounds its chaos in lore. The shift to a techno-medieval fantasy tone reminiscent of Diablo, Dark Souls, and Berserk adds a layer of dark mysticism that the series hasn't explored before. And yet, despite this atmospheric shift, it never forgets its action roots. Previous Doom entries gave us glimpses of Doom Guy's origins through cryptic lore tablets and brief cutscenes. Dark Ages goes deeper, weaving a more coherent narrative without bogging the player down. The cinematics are short and stylish, often framing the Slayer as a mythic, near-immortal figure of vengeance. Think less hero's journey and more unstoppable force of divine judgment. There are even moments of quiet world building, dialogue from terrified villagers, murals showing past wars, remnants of doomed kingdoms. It all adds texture without ever pulling you out of the action. At its core, The Dark Ages is still Doom, an arena shooter where speed and aggression are your best weapons. You dash, you chainsaw, you glory kill, but the medieval theme introduces new tools and tactics to the mix. The flail is a standout addition. This brutal spiked weapon adds satisfying sense of weight to melee combat, especially when used in combination with the classic super shotgun or a turning favorite like the rocket launcher. Its wide swings can control crowds in close quarters, making it essential when surrounded. This shield isn't just for blocking. Inspired by Captain America in the best way, this throwable, upgradable weapon allows you to knock out multiple enemies in a single ricochet and bash through projectiles. Combine it with well-timed movement and it becomes one of your most dynamic parts of your arsenal. The Ballistic Force Crossbow, which feels like the predecessor of Doom Eternal's BFG 9000, can wipe out almost any boss with one arrow. And the Dread Mace, which hits like a truck, but only has a single charge and a long cooldown time. One strike from this guy is able to replenish your gun ammo instantly. Meanwhile, weapons and upgrades are still front and center, but now wrapped in medieval aesthetics. The plasma rifle becomes an arcane energy cannon. The ballista resembles a demonic crossbow. Each upgrade path lets you tailor your build. Do you want an explosive shield that bounces or a flail that stuns enemies? That is all up to your style. Mounts and mech battles make bold appearances. One boss fight has you piloting a massive war golem against a colossal demon, while other moments let you ride flying beasts into aerial dogfights. These segments break up the core gameplay and offer a jaw-dropping spectacle without overstaying their welcome. Movement remains fast and fluid, though not quite as vertical or floaty as Doom Eternal. Wall climbing and mid-air dashing still exist, but feel more purposeful, more deliberate. You're not dancing through the air like a cyber ninja. You're a wrecking ball of iron and vengeance. ID Software has clearly had fun designing medieval variations of the classic demons. The Cacodemon now resembles a floating, decayed bishop with a crown of horns. The Revenant wears rusted armor, and carries flaming catapults instead of missile launchers. There are also new terrifying additions. The Blight Monk, a cloaked figure that hurls soul projectiles and resurrects fallen enemies if left unchecked. Siege Beasts, massive quadruplets with armored hides and siege engines strapped to their backs. Taking them down requires more than just brute force. Not to be confused with Eternal's version, these are recurring mini-bosses that blend melee and magic. Combat arenas are more vertical and puzzle-like, encouraging you to plan routes, use equipment at the right time, and constantly stay on the move. The AI is relentless as ever, and the difficulty spikes are real, but never unfair. Using a further evolved ID Tech 8 engine, The Dark Ages is one of the best-looking shooters in this generation. The game expertly blends grimy medieval textures. Think stained stone, rusted armor, scorched wood, with dynamic lighting and modern effects. Fire crackles in real time, shadows dance during fights, and blood never looked this visceral. It runs like a dream on high-end PCs and current-gen consoles. Whether you're in the middle of a demon siege or navigating a quiet, eerie ruin, the performance holds steady even during the most demanding fights. The UI is also tailored to the new setting. Less of the sci-fi HUD noise and more gothic minimalism. The soundtrack serves a blend of distorted lutes, Gregorian chants, thunderous drums, and down-tuned guitars. It's metal meets medieval and it works beautifully. Whether you're trudging through a haunted chapel or slaughtering demons in a castle courtyard, the music adapts dynamically, pumping tension and catharsis into every frame. Sound design is equally excellent. Every weapon hit, every enemy grunt, and every environmental cue is distinct and weighty. In lesser hands, Doom: The Dark Ages might have been a cheap gimmick, a medieval skin on the same old gameplay. But ID Software has crafted something far more ambitious, a full-fledged reinvention that expands Doom's world, deepens its lore, and redefines its combat in bold and satisfying ways. This is not just a prequel, it's a declaration, a statement that the Doom franchise can evolve, explore new genres, and still deliver some of the most pulse-pounding gameplay in modern shooters. If you've ever wondered what Doom would look like mashed with Skyrim or God of War, given a power metal soundtrack and unleashed on a plague-stricken hellscape, this is it. And it's glorious. And that wraps up our review of Doom: The Dark Ages. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section below. If you find this content helpful and informative, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon to get notified of our future uploads. Follow us on our socials and check out gaming.yugatech.com for the latest video game news and reviews. Once again, this has been CJ, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye! See you later!